Wait a minute. Is it possible Protectorate Society might be built on a bed of lies?
Keep from arresting attention for your sake.
Central Control! Battle Station!
Question.
The sovereign provides, the system abides.
So, Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
There? If you wish to feel better, try thinking of wanted murder.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
Well, as a Helia Leitinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've made it this far. In addition to your wonderful thirst for wanton violence, you were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you?
Keep it up, Commander, and you'll be next on my disemboweling list. Right after I fillet Dagmar here for her betrayal.
Yes, well, can it truly even be considered betrayal if it was always lies? And Aza's willful ignorance made her the perfect candidate when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
You... How dare you? You shall pay dearly for daring to speak thus, and the Consul shall pay triple.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. I did that a long time ago. Did you somehow not realize this?
Sentinels, the traitor Azahelia Leitinger is in the compound. She is to be terminated forthwith.
Imperfection is impossible in the minds of fatal symmetry.
Restorative cocktail with rage.
Malefactor ahead.
All guards loyal to the Protectorate converge on my position at once. Grenade
Didn't mean to assault.
Look sharp. It's a fight.
Ready to dispense judgment.
Enemy spotted.
Investigate the no escape elements.
Intentional. Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
Huh? You're still alive. No, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. Which wrong people didn't she kill? We were supposed to work through intimidation and the perceived threat to our system. Sure, maybe kill some subjects, those that could possibly become threats to the Protectorate, but not the dozens she slaughtered. For Matriarch's sake, she was killing vigilance. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth. She had to die before the Consul decided to cut the link between Aza, him, and the Dawn. Me. The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
Enough of this blathering on! It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. Feel free to think on that while I start in on her dissection. She's dead. It was at that. Yet, regret still gnaws at me. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. You're absolutely right. They turned on me once, they could do it again. And it will be easier to pick them off if I disband the Dawn. I can send out a general message to all the cells from here. I'll say our communications have been compromised or some such. That the Exalted Leader is dead and that they need to separate and protect themselves. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
let's talk this through. Huh? You're still alive. No, let's not be too hasty. Please don't let...
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. What? Why? Fine. But you are only prolonging the inevitable.
I must say, I am in favor of prolonging the inevitable myself. What I did for the greater good, to save the colony, all at the Consul's behest. It was my duty as a loyal subject to the true Protectorate. What other reason need there be? And Azza, she was an obvious choice. So you brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people? Sure. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth.
It's a good thing for you. I'm feeling a little less vindictive since I've been running with the commander here. That means your death will be quick. Well, quicker than it would have been. What? What are you trying to say? I can't go back to that gray life. I won't. Why did I ever listen to you and all your questions in the first place? I feel like I don't know anything anymore.
It was all lies, obviously. I never ceased to be amazed by your dedication to the Dawn's theology, Azahelia. Dismissing hard evidence like that? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. It took you long enough to start questioning the fact that the Dawn always seemed to be being sent to places that benefited the Consul politically. Not to mention they were forbidden from throwing themselves into their beloved rifts unless given specific instructions to do so. Couldn't have them all just killing themselves.
That is true. I'd gone too far to admit it. Until the end, when I could no longer completely ignore the dissonance in my head. It's lies. All of it. Get out of here, Dagmar. Before I change my mind.
Yes, well, can I just grab my... no, I suppose not. I'll show myself out.
What? What do I do now? I know that, but thank you for saying so. I meant, what should I do about the unhinged members of the Glorious Dawn? Without a leader, they could be even more dangerous. We may need to do some killing. You know, for old time's sake. I can send out a general message from here. I'll need to concoct some plausible theory to sell them on, though. Can't simply tell them to abandon their beliefs and just be good. How about this? I'll spout some vague new discoveries about the plan that demand we align our intentions with perfection before the Rifts will accept us into paradise, or some such nonsense. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. I need to leave this place. It makes me sick to my stomach. I'm not ready to talk yet. Let's get out of here.
Right.
Seems the Consul is not devoted to the idea of training future arbiters. I wish I could say I were surprised.
I'm not ready to talk yet. It's strange how I ended up here after all my time with the cult. I think I knew it was a lie all along. I just felt such freedom, such excitement. Like nothing I'd felt before. But it was all hollow. Being free didn't give me purpose. It simply served to distract me. I guess I just wanted to say... the fact that you accepted me onto your crew means a lot. It feels like I have a home. So, thank you. Not randomly, no. I'll follow your lead. Unless I feel you're being threatened. Can't have my commander killed, after all. Commander? Such as?
Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya. Sure. Got someone in mind? Honestly, she's surprised me. To turn away from the cult, from that manner of thinking, well, it takes real courage. She won't hear it from me, but that's something to admire. Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. I'll admit, though, I might be concerned by his newfound zeal for the Directorate. Think he had a good thing going, making his own way. This could stifle him in the long run. Ain't often you see an elder solving an equation with one hand and stabbing someone in the eye with the other. So the real question is, does she get along with me? I sure hope so. But something in her changed after what happened on the island, like a blade that's been blunted. It's a good thing, I reckon. I even think I saw her smile the other day. Not only is he a couple smokes short of a pack, he's also insufferable. I try, Commander, but Boyd, he makes it difficult. Gotta say, I'm impressed he's using his own gray matter for once. Now that he knows real justice is malleable, I rather think he'll make a fine arbiter.
Yes, Commander. They all...
Do I speak freely?
Fortune! Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. Evidently so. Satellites from our magnificent Hyperion reticulum do not tumble so gracelessly down from the skies every day. Some might label me mistrustful, but I wonder at your sudden assignment to this matter. Your tardiness, too, invites questions. It raises doubt you are even who you presume to be. There is no mistaking the zeal and ardor in your voice. I will not apologize for my caution, though I will acknowledge I held amounts of it in overabundance. You may avail yourself of the satellite. Matriarch guide you in your work. Finished already?
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss? No need to wait for permission.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Not for now, but keep speaking to me thusly, and I'll think well on rescinding your audience with her. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. Little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication. We believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. That's not exactly the most reassuring attitude I'd expect you to have. But I am glad we remain firmly in agreement. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance. Only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Entry granted. The presiding bishop is waiting for you.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. A wise leader is always open to constructive criticism. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, Supreme Calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. It's a rather personal apparatus, customized to my biological measurements. Would you ask to try on a stranger's undersuit? Perhaps you would. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Sorry to disappoint. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Oh, I am well aware of your extracurriculars. I only lack the context to understand them until now. You've certainly built out a commendable framework for this discussion. Hopefully your forward thinking extends to the negotiations themselves. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communiqué. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours, for the moment. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. You could, but I fear you will be a long time waiting for the next selection. I have no intention of shuffling off this mortal coil anytime soon. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate, the compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It was not the only determining factor, but yes, it factored in. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician. If x is the square root of -1, and you distribute the two binomials together, then the coefficient is... Oh, sorry. Help you with something. May the plan favor us.
The plan is always in motion. Much like you, it would seem. May you achieve...
Hello, layperson.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order.
People are gonna start to talk. And I'd like to offload some of this merchant.